So today I wanted to talk about all of the leaks, all of the deep dive, and everything that we've got in FC26. So we've obviously got the trailer of the deep dive, and this is going to be making gameplay better. Hopefully this is what we actually want to see, and in some aspects, I've seen a lot of really nice things that we could kind of get on board with. Some of them being leaks, obviously that is going to be another part of this. We have two gameplay presets. So obviously with this, we have the competitive style, which is going to be more of the kind of sweaty nature as such, where we then have the authentic, which is going to be hopefully a lot more build-up play, a little bit slower. Hopefully these are not broken between them. The whole point, and this is the biggest thing that I have with any sort of gameplay stuff, is when we get the game, it's in a somewhat okay state. They start the game pretty balanced across the board between broken shots and some things that are just unsavable. But then they start messing. And I think that is where it really goes between the lines of just changing too much. They'll change finesse shots to be less broken, then Travella's too broken, so we change that, then low driven's too broken, then power shots too broken. It eventually gets to the point where nothing is good enough. Heading was broken at the start, can't physically score a header from a corner now at all, so I just don't want them to get that problem with two different gameplays. Now in terms of a manager career, absolutely all for the authentic feel. If you are somebody that is, if I'm thinking from a content point of view, if you are making a real experience when it comes to the brand new manager modes and stuff like that, this could be actually fantastic, and it does make that authentic feel where you could also then still go with the competitive side of stuff. We have obviously the fundamentals, so dribbling, pace, the whole shebang is being changed and kind of adding more animations. That is not necessarily anything different. We've always had different animations, new animations, unique 360 spin, ball rotation, the whole shebang. We've obviously got as well refined gameplay, community-inspired features and updates, play styles, player roles, and high contrast mode. I must admit, I didn't even know what the high contrast mode was actually for, and obviously it's for visually impaired, it's for anybody that's blind that can, obviously if it's not, you could be considered blind, I think it is by like, I want to say it's like 93% or something silly like that, like it's not 100% blind technically, so you could literally still have 3 to 5, maybe even 6% of your vision still, so you could make out slightly. So I really do like that as a added feature. We also then have the standard menus. I don't think there's really nothing to that really, if you're kind of taking anything from it. News, ultimate team, career mode, player, clubs, kickoff, learn to seasons, and also a little bit of a tournament, but it's not going to get there. Obviously when it comes to your manager mode and stuff like that, we're going to be able to go with the two different, competitive and authentic. The classic high tempo competitive gameplay favors speed and responsive. Off-line game times can be changed in the settings, and a slower paced, more measured style of gameplay, close to what you see in actual foot matches. It's what it says on the title realistically. So then if we go in a little bit more, we've then got, by the looks of it, is that clubs and Norman team? Gameplay, competitive. So, okay, yeah. So, obviously, then we're going to see different game modes that is going to have the set online sort of thing. So, clubs and Ultimate Team will have the competitive, manager career and player career will have the option of authentic, which is fine. I think everybody kind of assumed that when it comes to being online, that's a great pass. Competitive is always going to be the one that will be put in there. You don't want the authentic. Obviously, when it comes to the passing style stuff, that is phenomenal play. And honestly, that is going to be the interesting one, because you can already tell passing is going to be broken from the start, at least in terms of how good it is. How quickly do they change that? That's going to be the interesting part, and hopefully I'm being optimistic here, and I think that is what we've got to be in any of these games. They've taken on board, they've put it in the trailer, doesn't mean they've got to do anything with it, but they've put it in the trailer at the absolute minimum. It's all we've been asking for. You can definitely see as well the difference between the authentic, like it sets up and feels different. So I'm interested to try the difference between them two, to be honest. So it will be an interesting side to see. Obviously, like we've seen with the pass and the control, the dribbling should all be changed, and we have got that kind of like focused dribbling. That is going to be the interesting part of it. Now, obviously, tackling is going to be another one as well that is considered to be more broken because of the bounce back features. So if you're looking for coins, check in the description for Eldorado. Depending on the coin amount that you're looking for, the delivery time is displayed on the website, and you'll see lots of different trusted sellers with reviews on specifics and also the ability to be able to pick who you want. It will also show how much they have in stock, and obviously you can see that they are verified members. There is 100% refund ability and also 24/7 support if you need any questions with your coin needs. Also, if you head over to Trustpilot as well, you can see over 30,000 upvotes for them. You can see how reliable they are. Obviously great feedback across the entire board with Eldorado. So when on checkout, make sure you are using the code JT11 for 5% off your order every time. Discount code JT11. Now let's get back to the video. I really hope we don't have slips in the competitive there, because that would be frustrating. You know full well you're going to end up slipping backline and you're just going to fall flat. Hopefully that is just going to be authentic and you can't slip in competitive, because it's just going to add that other random thing where pressure's going to cause them to slip. That's a great through ball. So, okay. I mean, I'm interested. This is the problem, and I think a lot of people are going to be the same. It's an interesting side to have, because I feel like I've always been hyped for a new game because of the new game, but never because it was an interesting change. Like, it's not as if they would kind of like overhauling everything. It was always, I get to play Ultimate Team from the beginning again. We get to see where. And there's some interesting changes hopefully coming to that we will kind of discuss on. Then we've got some gameplay. We've got obviously competitive authentic. We got the weather effects that will obviously be in the authentic style of stuff. We got gameplay, match, sliders, camera visuals, audio, rules, all of that jazz. Okay, so I mean, it's pretty standard across the board there. Like, there's nothing too crazy. We've got refined gameplay fundamentals, pretty much just like we've said with the dribbling, with all of them. Goalkeeper agility, tackles, interceptions, passing, dribbling, attacking movement, physicality. So all of them having their step up in terms of animation side of stuff. There's nothing really else to it. That is what they're changing. They're making the responsiveness, the consistency, all of that. Goalkeepers are inconsistent. I mean, what did they do prior to that? I mean, it's a hard one, because I'm like, yes, goalkeepers will spill that. Like, in real life, they will do both options. And making it that they always don't spill it is going to be the interesting one, because realistically, some goalies will spill it. It's not an every time that you will manage to make the save and it doesn't go back to the opponent. Now, obviously, like we've said with many times, free kicks are interesting. It's not necessarily the fact that the keepers always push it back to the opponent. It is just the fact that the consistency of that isn't clear. If they're doing both, I can understand that. Change in direction feels so heavy. I mean, yes, I mean, it depends on your lag, I suppose, if anything. Okay, I mean, that's going to be an interesting one. I do find that. And another one is, and I don't know if everybody will have the same, is if the ball, say, gets blocked and it gets knocked into open play, and you've got a player, and say you're already locked onto that player, and instead of going straight to the ball, which they would win against the opponent that's going to get there, they almost do like a round to get to it, and they never win it. That is something that I'm always frustrated with. And when you're in the air with the ball's gone in the air, you're already not challenging for it. You can't move or jump for it. So there is a lot to kind of go for here that I'm going to be very interested to see if they do change. We have tackles and interceptions are often bad. That's one that I could be on board with. We do see that quite a lot. That it sometimes can be more like, sometimes in a single game you could see it a countless amount of times, or it could just be one or two times. But the problem will be, it always is in them really important moments. So that will be interesting, to say the least, that they should be able to bring it back. Passing and dribbling feels sluggish. It depends who you're playing with. I mean, dribbling now with the footies cards is always good. But yes, you definitely wouldn't be able to kind of dance in the box as much as kind of what this is suggesting. You're obviously seeing more refined touches, more kind of interest inside of stuff where it is very quick and precise, controlled dribbling. My teammates need to make better runs. Is that going for the AI side of stuff? I mean, again, it depends on your tactics, really, if anything. I suppose the big thing there is more that the problem is what they've added, and what they probably don't show is right there in between them. So you can see kind of, I don't know why I'm pointing to the screen. You can kind of see here, this bit, if you've got Intercept or Block Plus, they are 90% of the time going to get there. Like that pass doesn't get there if you've got Block Plus or Intercept Plus. Like that's where we'll be interested to see if the Playstyle Pluses have that advantage on it, because that's the reason why you don't ever make that pass. And it's why in this scenario, realistically, you would end up, where would you end up going? So if we see the pass, so you'd more than likely end up down here. Like you'd push it out wide and then you'd kind of drag it in. You might be then go him, back to him, and then cross it in, or at least drive it in. You wouldn't make that first free ball. Like, this is a good ball. Like that's fair enough. Like that's a solid ball. I can't protect the ball when pressed. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's true. You kind of don't necessarily do that too much, but again, it depends. It depends on the scenario. Like, how many people are holding a press, and this will be the interesting part of how interesting it will be, because obviously, if it's a new feature that's added that is not necessarily broken, but at least it's more of the positive side of gameplay, then people will use it. But obviously it's not been usable in the game, so there's no point doing it. Low drivens used to be great. I mean, did they? I mean, low driven shot, it's only just come in on a Playstyle Plus, and that's been broken in itself. Like, that's done always wonders. But it's the problem is you're not shooting like that outside the box. Like, you are going for the finesse more than anything, because it is broken. So having the low driven, that's where you don't want it to be broken in them scenarios. Like something like that on the edge, and it makes it more powerful, is interesting. Like, I would happily take that as a shot, but here is a better as a finesse rather than anything. So that is always going to be the interesting part of that, if anything, really. We then have agility, tackles, interceptions, pass and dribbling, attacking, movement, physicality. Is anything else? We've got obviously the feedback coming into it. We then have, what do we got next? I mean, we're going through a little bit. We've got the high contrast mode. Like I say, I'm big up for this. To be honest, I didn't really think about this to start with. And then, actually, when I do kind of consider it, it's a great mode to have. There is so much more, and you can obviously change everything, like the pitch saturation. You can obviously change the colours of each of the kits. So if you're, for instance, if you're colourblind or something to some contrast, what have you, you could change it yourself manually. I like that. We then have these simplified skill moves. I think this is a massive one. Skills have gone out from the game. Like, you can still use them, and they do help in certain aspects, but they're not necessarily needed in every aspect. Like, I do a few step overs. Gets me absolute nowhere. Like, it's very rare that the step overs is going to work, unless you get that 50-50 going away from him. But it just looks cool. Like, I like a good skill move. Hopefully that will be interesting to see. The fine touches mixed in with the dribbling would be nice. We also then have the new playstyles, which is going to be interesting. We have the precise header, is massively needed. We have aerial fortress. We have game changer, which is basically the Trivela. We then have the inventive as well, which is obviously going to be interesting, and also then the enforcer. So kind of like Bruiser-esque, aerial, Trivela, trickster. Interesting to see in itself. Obviously, we might have some new roles coming in as well, so that will always be interesting to see what is kind of the interesting one. We obviously have the box crasher, which is going to be very interesting for like a CDM centre mid. For instance, they are using Chouameni as a big example there. The box crasher is, as it kind of sounds, somebody that is going to be, that's stunning, is going to be somebody that is going to just completely run through. Then obviously they go back to the gameplay side of stuff, which is going to be the biggest change they have. I think that is good in general, because it doesn't mean that they have to change the offline and the online at the same time. It can just be that they could focus on fine-tuning the online, and then the manager career is stayed the same. It's happy, it's in that sort of area, and it keeps everybody flowing. Whereas obviously with the online sort of stuff, nobody wants authentic gameplay online. They want fast movement, pace, shooting, goals, everything. They don't want to sit there and pass 24/7 on the back line to then go for that counter-attack. So I think they're in the right zone sort of it here. Obviously, the responsiveness, the consistency, all of that when it comes to actually moving is always going to be interesting. And I'm very, very intrigued to see truly where this game does go. So if we was heading over to some of the leaks that we've kind of got into this then, because This is the interesting part for me, and we'll go into the deep dive, is obviously some of the stuff that we've seen from the leaks. What does it actually do for us? Because there's some really good stuff. I know there's a couple of people, but obviously the simplified skills, we've kind of gone over that a little bit, and we will do in more of the patches. But you can see that we've got more images added to the screenshot. So you've got obviously the in-game sort of stuff. I don't know how well everybody can see that, but you've kind of just got your formations more so than anything. So it's not necessarily anything crazy that we're seeing on there. But if we move down, the interesting parts that we've got, if we've obviously got in champs, playoffs removed, 2 different variations. We obviously have foot champs in Division 4 and above, and we have Division 5 and below. So interesting to see. We have champions versus challengers sort of thing. We then have the transfer market will still be the same. PS5 and 4, Series S and X, and Xbox One are going to be together. And then we have the PC market of EA Play, Steam, Epic, and then obviously Switch will have its own. We also then have this, which is always interesting. In FC 26, you may get the win if your opponent quits no matter how they do, even dashboarding, after the 45th minute as 0-0, or when you earn a penalty or a red card. The main thing I'm taking from this is may. I'm not going to be too excited until we say you will get it, because there's sometimes I just don't think I get the win anyway. When we obviously have a look at the kind of news, these are going to summarize it as well. We've kind of gone over a bit of that. We also then have the shield entries coming in. We then have a few of the kind of gameplay stuff that we'll have a look at in a second. But when it comes to this, we do have the chance that we are going to get goalkeeper evos in the game, which is going to be fantastic. We are then also going to get the storage capacity still at 100, which is only fine. Only players with a playstyle can perform Travellas. Always interesting in itself. We then have the new roles with the ball playing keeper, wide back, inverted wing back, and the box crasher. And then we've went over obviously them. When it comes to then the rest of them, we have got time finishing being removed. I'm personally one person that never really used time finishing, so it doesn't necessarily affect me too much. I get this is going to be a big one for a lot of competitive gameplay players, because it was a massive one that I don't know if it necessarily put you over the edge for it, but it definitely gave you somewhat of an advantage that worked really well. Obviously then we've got gift cards, we've got all this gameplay sort of stuff. We do have the beta coming out, but also we have got, I don't know how far we go down, but basically there is a potential leak that we will be getting cards starting at a lower value. Now, if this is true, and I don't know if we've got it on FC 26 leaks, I think he had this, but the interesting part with this, and we've seen this for a long time now, we knew that this was going to be a big thing that we needed, is the fact that we had 3 Salas at 90 in the first month and a half. That physically could not happen again. Like that, it's just borderline boring. You've gone literally a month and a half. You are in November, and we have 3 different Salas at that same rating. Regardless of one getting a double play style plus, you need rating. Like it may only be 91, 92, 93. That is better. So if they do potentially bring that back, so it's, for instance, Mbappe, who's the highest rated goal at 91, starts at 85 or starts at 86, that's fine, because we bring everybody back down as well. It doesn't necessarily mean that we have to go with everybody being silvers, but it just gives you a chance to push everybody up. So, obviously we've got the storage limit at 100. You get a win if your opponent quits, even if dashboard. I'm happy about that. Obviously we have got a lot of icon news coming as well. And this official power curve slowed down. Lower ratings. And that's all we've got so far. So I'm interested to know if that is true. If so, how lower? Are they making Mbappe at 88 and 87 and 86? Or do they go really far down and go 80 and really push that power curve? I think it could help. I really do think starting lower could actually be such a benefit to keep everybody in line and be able to ramp up the power curve whenever they want. Now, it doesn't mean everybody gets up to that 96 Mbappe straight away, but it allows people who are grinding the game out to really push. Evolutions, apparently Keeper is coming in the new game. Always interested. We do then have the drag chop as well. Some lovely skills coming in that we will obviously see as well. Players must have Travella to perform it. We knew that one. Obviously playstyle pluses. We've got the menus, time finishing, gameplay revealed, and all of that jazz. We've got the pass and overhaul and Camp Nou returns. FC 27. Ooh. Is that not, oh god, is that not going to be 26? We also then have Alex Morgan as a new icon, and then we have the bombshells and all of that. So in terms of what we are seeing here then, so if we go into the patch notes of this sort of kind, so when you are looking through a lot of these, and I can imagine a lot of people don't really look through these middle way through, and hence why you probably have got a lot of people that do cover these just to give you the basics and kind of give you that little bit of a rundown of what is going on with what they're basically changing, what they're not changing. Now, obviously, with a brand new game, there's a lot of new info, and some of it can be good, some of it can just be irrelevant. Like, sometimes some of the animations that they're adding, you might not even notice. Like genuinely. The skill moves are going to be interesting if they are important into the game. The competitive authentic will be a massive one they push. Guarantee nobody talks about it within the first 2 months of it being released, because everybody will be either an online player or an offline player. So it's not going to kind of coincide, because you're going to have authentic, which will be more than likely manager player career modes, and competitive will just be ultimate team mode. So it's going to be no different really, other than the fact that you might have a few people that kind of venture over with authentic and play some manager career mode sort of thing, like a Road to Glory on trying to save Man U from financial cripple. I mean, that could be an interesting one. So it would be interesting to see that, but in general, you're not going to see too much of a difference there, really. Obviously, then you've got a lot of the feedback that's coming in. Again, if they do follow to the absolute nail of all the feedback they put in that first trailer, all the feedback that they're putting back into this, I mean, it should be a much better game. Now, the big thing here is, we play the game, it doesn't necessarily mean that we can fix the game. I can say heading is atrocious. If they fix it, does it fix everything else? Because that's the problem, that they've got to fix so many things that something's always going to be broken. We've had it since the very start of the game. If it's not pace, it's shooting from a distance. If it's not shooting from a distance, it's sweating. If it's not sweating, it's finesses, it's travellas, it's power shots. There's always going to be a mechanic that works. From the back ball cross the El Tornado into the back ball header, overhead kicks, header near post, header far post, scoring from corners. We've had it all. So it's no different whatsoever. This game as well will have a mechanic that is broken. It will always have it. And more than likely, it's finesse. Finesse always seems to be a very consistent one when it comes to it. Then obviously we do look at the kind of dribbling side of stuff. We have obviously touching intervals. So it's very precise, very kind of quick and easy touches, but obviously the height, the preference of foot, and also then the dribbling animations is going to be the one thing that really does make the difference with this. And I'm very interested to see what this can actually do for us. So you can see kind of just the quick dribbling. And now the big thing is, I can imagine he's not holding the run feature as well. So this is going to be more precise dribbling compared to like how I have to kind of teach myself not to just hold the run sprint. So this is great until someone lunges in and takes the back out of your legs, really. Then obviously you've got the agile dribbling, which is being removed. And then we've got contextual agile dribbling is set in mode. Always interesting. We've got movement, so we've got more agile movements. This is kind of like the moving back, being able to swap and move kind of directions a little bit quicker. Always interesting. Now, the big thing is not necessarily at the start of the game. We know that the better attackers are going to be able to do this rather than the better defenders. So if you get an Mbappe versus a Harry Maguire, you are going to win 9 times out of 10, probably 10 times out of 10. But when you come up against a Van de Ven, for instance, with a quick step, where's the difference there? That's the bit that I'm really interested to see, the different side of it. We then also have the acceleration types. We're going back to the 3 accelerations: predictable pace of play, fundamentals. So we have got explosive, lengthy, and controlled. Okay, so I mean, they're not going for the mostly lengthy. That could be interesting. I mean, that definitely is, it simplifies it that little bit more. Improved jockey movement to more agile responses. Love that. Turns, obviously, and low urgency. Improved low urgency and relaxed animations for players not directly involved in the play. To be less frantic and have more ready than... Okay, I like it. That's good. Goalkeepers, the fundamental. To be honest, goalkeepers, they can give me all the jargon they like. Until I see how they play, it doesn't make a difference to me. Because half of the time... Okay, I was gonna say, I was like, tell me that that's not going to be an every time thing. So basically, they mean they are going to save it sometimes, and they're going to not save it the other times. So obviously, got the parry, and then that's going to be into the goal, and then it's going to go back to him. Okay, I mean, yeah, that bit is the annoying part. Maybe the double parry is the kind of one that really frustrates me a little bit more. So position him. We then also have the one-on-one. I mean, I want to see the FC26 one, because this is the bit that I struggle with something like this, and I get that this might not be every single time, but realistically, if I am one-on-one with the keeper, I should have the upper hand. Like that should be my thing to lose. If I can't beat him by going round him, if I can't beat him with a finesse round him, if he's brought him out too soon, I shouldn't have to keep him in net, or he stays in net, and he could still have a solid chance of saving. Because it's a one-on-one. I should realistically have a very good chance of scoring in a scenario like this. I'm not saying every time, but it most definitely should be a higher chance than being able to save a rubbish shot like that, to be realistic. So I'm interested. I'm skeptical, but I'm interested. We have got be a goalkeeper. I mean, I'm always down for this. It looks like it is coming to Rush as well. I'm absolutely down. I don't know if this was already in pro clubs or not, so if it was, I'm sorry. I've not played pro clubs in a long time. But in general, Rush is really fun with your friends. So I'm absolutely down to kind of get this. The icons will be low rated and you get 2,000 FP points. Apparently we've got a foot police league. We'll have a look at the end. Defending, again, depends on what we're looking at really. I think the defending side of stuff, it is all about being able to win that ball back. I think that's going to be a massive one, more so than anything. You could give me all the jargon you want, as long as it's not just constantly going back to your opponent. I'm more than happy, because I've found that so many times now that it's just absolutely ridiculous. It's one of them that I've played for many years, and it's something you just got used to. You can tell when your game is going to be your game or not, because naturally you either win the ball back or you don't. So if they do give us a little bit more, I'm absolutely for it. That's a bad touch. What's this going to be? Okay, so he does win the touch back. Okay, I like that. That's fair. I mean, yeah, I've definitely had my fair share of that, and through on goal as well. Like they know this game, and this is the frustrating part. And I get wait until the new game so they get people's money. Always makes sense. I'm not. This is the big thing with EA, and they get the slack. I'm not mad at anybody making money. At promo packs, the amount they've been doing, like, yeah, that's ridiculous. But to buy the game, if they want to wait and make big changes at the end, I'm all for it. Like, fair enough. Like if you've got something wrong, own up to it into the next game. I'm always going to buy the next game. I like playing a football game. It's my channel. It's my work. I'm always going to buy it, no matter what, until the game is in the ground. FC, FIFA, whatever you want to call it, or even there's a new one. I'm always going to buy it. So they don't have to convince me. But when it comes to something like this, I'm happy for them to wait till the end if they can't make an overall change in a game that is pre-existing, unless it's within the first few months. But like, say we get to mid-March, kind of April, what's the point trying to overhaul the game? I'm already spent on the game's kind of mechanics, so might as well wait for the new game and get some more sales in. That's fair enough. A business is a business. That makes sense. But when it comes to seeing that they know what it is, they can't back down from this now then. They know full well what hell we've been dealing with. So they know full well that I'm not accepting it going any worse. But I mean, you'd look a bit quicker, but I mean, that doesn't look that overall impressive. I do like the passing in the actual game. It looks really cool. We're going to have a lot of time finishing sort of stuff that we'll kind of go over when the game is there. We have the low-driven volley. Now, this is going to be a fantastic one. For me, it should be an interesting one to see where this new shot is going. Like, I'm hoping it's not broken. Low-driven headers. Okay, I mean, again, I'm down for that. If that is an active shot that I can do, I'm all for it. That works. We've got attacking and defensive positioning. We knew that's going to be decent, what we got going on. Okay, yeah, so we can see the attacker making the run. Again, don't want that to be every single time. So hopefully the defenders do make a few runs every now and then. This is a fine movement. Like, this could be, you could have literally dragged this guy out of here all the way out, and he's kind of coming back. That's fair enough. You should be punished for moving your defense out the way. So I'm absolutely all for that as well. We then have the physicality. We have the physicality, the shield trap. Like I said, it's just not been needed in FC. So it's not been a thing that you really do. Now, obviously, if it is going to work, you'll obviously spin people from it. So if you're kind of getting used to like that, someone coming in trying to take the ball off you, trying to intercept, you can obviously do the shield trap and turn the other way, kind of do that quick movement. Always interesting to see what we got here. Is this just controls? Oh, is this the chest? Okay, I like it. Again, yeah, it's like I don't want it to be every single time that I can't win the ball back, but it's fair. It's like, I mean, I can kind of get that. Controlling the ball, first touch, what we got. So this is before the touch. You got him again, is it holding sprint as well? I'm assuming by the looks of it. And then we've obviously got the touch on there as well. Okay, I mean, yeah, everything points well. Like, the game really does point in a very positive attitude. But it's whether it plays like this. And we've not got long to go. And like I say, keep an open mind with this. I think by the looks of what they're offering, it looks like they're changing quite a lot, which I'm hoping they should do. And it will be interesting to see if it does play out as well as we want. Because it's not going to appease everybody. There's always going to be people that will moan about certain aspects of a game because they don't like it in their specific sense, and that's fine. It's not a thing that they need to please everybody. Why would you not cut in there? I mean, okay, yeah, I could have gone for the sweats, I suppose. There it was a little bit lacking. Well, I'm trying to think what we got. Predictable behavior to aid competitive gameplay. And gone for the run. That's the standard as anything. Then he's obviously going for the overlap. And they're going to push it. Oh, so it's the same one. And they're just going to make that pass. The defender could do a little bit better, in my opinion, there. But again, it is what it is. We've got authentic mode, new sliders, which, again, is kind of good for your manager mode if you want to make it more prevalent or not. Team player style, feedback, accessibility, which is going to be the high contrast. Like I say, big fan of that. Player shadows. This is always an interesting one. There's a lot of people that don't like the shadows on the game. Now, this could again be a visibility thing, but it is taken away, so you can toggle the shadows off if you really want. I don't know. I'm interested. I don't know how I feel about it. I don't know if I need it. Do I not need it? It's going to be an interesting one to see what the best sort of settings are. Player attributes and styles. Play styles. The problem is play styles will always have that major aspect, especially like for instance the Trivela. If you can't do it, if you don't have that Playstyle Plus, that's going to make it a massive improvement for him. So in terms of stats, unless we are getting the high, once we get to the highest rated, that's when they really don't make that much of a difference. Like now with footies, it's all about Playstyle Pluses. It doesn't matter about what stats everybody has because everybody has 90 and above at the end game. So Playstyles are always going to be, by the end of it, very, very important. We obviously then have got a few of these playstyles. Again, these are pretty standard from what we've seen across the board. Game Changer, obviously all of them. They're predominantly what we've seen in previous playstyles as well. The Enforcer just seems to be almost, well, what does it actually say it is? Let's a physical attacker who takes control using shielding when initiating contact when dribbling. So it's almost like a bruiser for attacking. So it's always interesting one to say the least. More flexibility with roles. Attacking position players are less constrained by the roles. If the opportunity presents itself, they can go beyond and control the maze. Yes, this is what we've said from the start with the roles. We knew the Playstyle Pluses added a thing where you needed them. And so did the roles. I'm glad that they're maybe trying to push that back a little bit. So hopefully that we obviously can get back to having players just play in their role and it doesn't matter about their plus or anything. So that's always interesting. I'm very interested to see what it says. Launch players will have more positions and role pluses. Okay, I mean, I'm all for that. Then we'll see. Obviously got 10 more roles, effectiveness, tweaked. We got loads of these. Okay, these were all the pictures that we saw in general. So again, nothing too crazy. We've obviously got the tactics on there. We'll kind of really benefit from them once we get into it. Ooh, we have save codes. Like that. That's good because that will be really helpful when trying to build a team together. Rush improvements. We wanted to... Oh, we got volume in this one. For Rush, we wanted to allow players to play as a goalkeeper and add a few... okay, so they weren't. Improvements based on your feedback enhance certain areas like visual and UI. I mean, yeah, goalkeepers in Rush were atrocious in themselves. So playing as a goalkeeper is always going to be a really big one. Quick chat, paused users, career mode Rush. Career mode Rush. Interesting. Youth tournaments. I like it. Again, I'm getting ahead of it. I'm really, really excited to see where this game can go, because if they get everything right, it could at least make the game a bit more exciting again. It's not just almost like a cash cow to finish off the game. It really has a very good chance of being a very good game. So I'm just really hoping that they do continue with this and really push it to there. Oh God, what do we got here? What was this? Player name, bar name, and info. Okay, yeah, that's fine. It's pretty standard across the board. We do have finally some actual saving shots out of save. I like it. Finally, some actual stats. I love it. It feels like it's been so long to actually get some stats, and that is a really nerdy thing to kind of want. But finally, just something extra to kind of go with. I like it. Offensive duels, offensive cores. Yeah. Big fan of that. Set pieces, corner kicks, adjusted the position, run locations, free kicks, throw-ins, practice arena. Obviously, that needed a big overhaul. Breakaway fouls improved our breakaway logic to better detect fouls involving the last player back. Like it. Really the offside logic to improve accuracy of calls. I mean, this really shouldn't be a problem with a computer. If they can't get the offside rule right on a computer, I'd be very surprised. And that is going to be everything. Now, we did get apparently some Foot Police leak. I don't know what it is, but we've seen something somewhere. What did I just see? What did I just see it? Where is it? The icons. Oh, okay, so they've done it prior to this, or have they gone away from it? Where is it gone? That's the 94 replies. Oh, I don't know. It said something about the icons and the fact that the icons in the pre-order would be lower unless it's got rid of it during the next 2 months, which is kind of bad. Okay, I mean, so it's got the icons will be low rated and you get 2000 FP day one. I think the rest of them during the next 2 months. Okay, so I mean, that's pretty stat. We kind of knew that, really. Like that's nothing too out of the ordinary. But in general, I'm interested. I'm hoping you are as well. Let me know your feedback as well. Is there anything that you're excited, not excited with? You think it's going to be broken or not? It's going to be an interesting run for the next few weeks into the couple of months until the game's out. But hopefully we do get a lot more news and we'll see where we go with it. So hopefully you enjoyed. Like and subscribe if you're still here. And if you are, thank you very much. Peace.